What if I told you that the secret to wealth, personal power, and inner peace wasn't locked in some Ivy League textbook, but written almost 90 years ago by a man named Napoleon Hill? Think and Grow Rich isn't just a book. It's a blueprint. A roadmap followed by people like Steve Jobs, Oprah, Michael Jordan, and millions of others who refused to live average lives. And even today, science is catching up to what Hill wrote nearly a century ago. This video isn't just about success. It's about unlocking the 13 principles that can shape your reality. Principles rooted in desire, imagination, and relentless faith. The same principles that drove Arnold Schwarzenegger to leave Austria with almost nothing and become a global icon. The same beliefs that pushed Steve Jobs to hold on to his vision when the world told him he was wrong. Hill taught us that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Tony Robbins took that torch and added fuel, showing us how motion, decision, and intensity create transformation. And now neuroscience backs it all up. But this isn't theory. This is about you, your goals, your future. What would change in your life if you applied even one of these principles? What if you stopped wishing and started deciding? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. And today you will. Let's begin. Success doesn't start on paper. It starts in the mind. That's why Napoleon Hill begins Think and Grow Rich with the foundation of all greatness: desire. Not a wish, not a hope, but a white-hot, burning desire that won't go away no matter how many times you fail. When Arnold Schwarzenegger was just a skinny kid in Austria, he didn't just want to be successful. He decided he would become the greatest bodybuilder in the world. He visualized trophies hanging on his wall years before he ever stepped on stage. He read Hill's book early in his life and used those principles religiously. Hill said that everything begins with a clear purpose and a burning desire. But desire alone isn't enough. It has to be paired with faith, a belief so strong that it pushes you forward when everything around you says stop. That's exactly what Steve Jobs had when he returned to Apple in the 90s. The company was collapsing. Critics said it was over. But Jobs had faith, not just in the technology but in his vision. That inner certainty brought Apple back from the dead. According to Tony Robbins, belief is like a thermostat. It sets the temperature of your life. If your mind is stuck on low, your results will stay cold. Raise your belief, raise your standards, and everything else begins to rise with it. But how do we do that? Enter the third principle, autosuggestion. This is the practice of repeating your goals out loud with emotion until your subconscious mind starts to believe it's already true. Science backs this up. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that when we repeat thoughts with emotional intensity, we literally rewire the brain. The thought becomes a command, not just a wish. That's what Michael Jordan did every time he failed. He didn't just bounce back, he told himself he was the best even before anyone else believed it. His mind was trained to win long before the scoreboard showed it. Next comes specialized knowledge. Success doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from knowing the right things. Jobs wasn't the best engineer, he hired the best engineers. Hill reminds us that we can build wealth by organizing talent around a vision. You don't need to know everything. You need to lead something worth building. Finally, we have imagination. Every invention, company, or dream life began as an idea. Hill wrote about two types: synthetic, based on past experience, and creative, born from inspiration. Robbins calls imagination the workshop of the mind. And it's true, what you picture consistently you begin to attract. So let's get practical. Write your desire. Say it aloud. Visualize it with emotion. Because the mind doesn't just dream, it builds. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they never built a plan, never made a decision, and quit too soon. Napoleon Hill said that a plan, even a bad one, is better than no plan at all, because it gives you motion. Without motion, desire dies. And desire without motion? It's just frustration. Take Walt Disney. He was fired from a newspaper job for lacking creativity. Later he faced bankruptcy, rejection, and ridicule. But he had a plan. He stuck to it. He redrew it when needed. And eventually the world saw what only he could see at the start. Planning matters, but only when it's backed by decisiveness. Hill discovered that every millionaire he studied made decisions quickly, and changed them slowly if ever. People who procrastinate rarely lead. Tony Robbins puts it this way: your destiny is shaped in moments of decision. Not next week, not when it's safe, but in that moment when you choose to move even if you're afraid. That's exactly what Colonel Sanders did. At 65 years old, broke and rejected over 1,000 times, he didn't wait for perfect conditions. He decided that the world needed to taste his chicken recipe, and he made it happen. Not overnight, but through one rejection at a time. And that's where persistence enters. Hill calls persistence the insurance policy of success. It's the trait that transforms temporary defeat into long-term victory. According to Jordan Peterson, persistence rewires the brain for resilience. Every time you keep going, you build a stronger version of yourself. Neurologically and emotionally. Just look at Elon Musk. His first 3 SpaceX rockets exploded. Billions lost. Critics laughed. But he stayed in the game. He pivoted, planned again, and launched number 4. It worked. Now SpaceX is making history, and so is he. But Musk wasn't alone. Behind every great success story is a mastermind group. A council of minds that think together, challenge each other, and move toward a shared vision. Hill believed that when 2 or more minds unite in harmony, they create something far greater than one genius alone. You don't need all the answers. But you do need people who challenge your thinking and push you further. So here's your move. Who's in your circle? Who are you planning with? What decision are you still postponing? And how many rejections are you willing to face to earn your breakthrough? You don't need to get it perfect. You just need to keep moving forward. Most people are working hard on the outside, but they've never learned how to work with what's going on inside. Napoleon Hill wrote that the real key to wealth isn't just found in action, but in the subconscious mind. The part of you that never sleeps. The part that accepts what you tell it, especially if you say it often and with emotion. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that your subconscious stores every experience, thought, and emotion like a hard drive. And unless you reprogram it, it will just keep repeating the same pattern. Same habits, same limits, same results. That's why Hill taught the power of autosuggestion back in chapter 1. But here he dives deeper. He says your subconscious is the bridge between your desire and your results. And the best way to cross that bridge is through repetition, visualization, and feeling. Serena Williams is a living example. Before every match, she practices not just physically, but mentally. She visualizes success, rehearses her focus, and connects emotionally to her goal. Her mind is trained to win before she hits a single ball. Hill takes it further with the idea of transmutation of sexual energy. That raw, creative energy inside us, if channeled, not wasted, can be redirected into our goals, dreams, and work. It's not about suppression. It's about conversion. Kobe Bryant used this exact principle. He took the emotional intensity most waste on distractions and channeled it into relentless training, creative thinking, and mental mastery. He meditated. He visualized. He focused with monk-like precision. Hill then introduces the brain as a receiver and broadcaster of energy. Thoughts powered by emotion generate a frequency. And when you're emotionally charged with purpose, you tune in to ideas, people, and opportunities that align with that energy. It's not magic. It's how your nervous system and perception work. That's how Albert Einstein explained some of his best ideas. He said they came in moments of quiet, not logic. When his conscious mind rested, his intuition stepped forward. Hill called this the sixth sense. A sudden knowing, a spark of truth, a flash of insight that guides your next move. Tony Robbins calls it the power of getting still to move fast. In a world that never stops talking, clarity is a superpower. So here's your moment. Practice silence daily, even just 3 minutes. Repeat your desires with emotion like they're already true. Redirect your energy into action, not distraction. And start listening to that whisper inside you. It already knows the way. 13 principles. 13 keys. And every single one is already inside you, waiting to be turned. You don't need permission to change your life. You don't need perfect timing. And you definitely don't need to be someone else. Napoleon Hill didn't just write a book, he gave us a code. A system followed by leaders, creators, and dreamers for nearly a century. And it's still alive today in people like Elon Musk, Serena Williams, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and millions of others who refuse to settle. Tony Robbins says, "It's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped." That moment could be now. Not someday. Not next year. No. Let's recap. It starts with desire. You must want it so badly that the world can't talk you out of it. Then comes faith, believing it's possible even before it shows up. You feed that faith with autosuggestion and imagination. You move with a plan, make strong decisions, and never quit. Because persistence is how dreams survive long enough to become real. You surround yourself with a mastermind. You harness your energy, speak to your subconscious, align your thoughts, and tune into your sixth sense. That's not theory. That's your toolkit now. You are not behind. You are exactly where your next chapter begins. The question is, what will you do with it? If this message spoke to you, if even one idea lit a fire inside, then take a moment. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join the movement of people rewriting their story with purpose. Because success doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the committed. And now, it belongs to you. Hey, incredible growth seekers. Wow, what a journey. If this video resonated, subscribe now for more life-changing content. Join our community of self-improvers. Smash that like button to fuel more content on mindfulness, goal setting, and emotional intelligence. Share this video to create a ripple of positive change. Comment below about your growth journey. Your insights shape our content. Next week, boosting self-confidence and overcoming limiting beliefs. Don't miss it. Every interaction brings us closer to a world of empowered individuals. Let's make personal development global. Stay inspired, keep growing. Your best self awaits. Let's unlock it together.